Okay, so let it be known, just so we get it on the record here. Win by 17 against Boise, at Boise, Big C's, getting fitted for the nicest clogs the high country has to offer, going to the Todd Mercantile. And there will be photographic evidence. I'm not gonna hold you to like video evidence, but there's gonna be a picture one way or the other.
So I thought he
17
said
points.
square dancing. Say square dancing?
I'm sorry, square dance. I'm sorry.
So that would mean
Square
like,
dancing. No, it doesn't include clogs. You're right. You're
right,
right. I messed
some
that one up.
cowboy
That's on
boots,
me.
something like
That's
that.
on me. Yeah.
Cowboy
Square dancing.
boots, pair of Wranglers,
Yeah. That's
flannel
much
shirt
less threatening.
tucked in,
Tucked in. Gotta tuck it in. Gotta
braided
tuck it in.
belt.
Suspenders? No suspenders? No.
Yeah, I don't need suspenders to keep my pants up.
Okay, very good. All right, this is from Jason Hutchins. With D'Lo coming from NFL for the most part, what are the odds he scraps the offense and starts fresh? Also, this team reminds me of the 2014 team where the ball bounces the right way a couple times and they're winning games by 25, 30 points. Charles, what do you think about that?
Well, I think you consider the injuries that seem to be out there. I'm not saying that to scrap the offense, but there probably going to need to be some adjustments to whoever is not in. So if you have an offensive lineman here or a quarterback there, like you got to cater that to what's best on your team at that given point in time. So I don't say a full scrap, but we certainly got to do some scratching of some sort.
That's interesting. So when I see, I don't know, the offense really would benefit from health. I think right now, when you got two linemen out in that second half, we looked not very good. Noah Gillen poor kid had like no time to react. So that would really help. And then also, if you look at like just the offense, like is he going to scrap the offense? I think the plays that have been called or designed what they're intended to do, I think they've been pretty good. They've just been executed really poorly. Not to harp on what we already talked about at the post game, but that throw to Dubinion over to the sideline, that design play out to him, was a touchdown with the throw that's 3 feet higher. That's a touchdown. In closer, I guess.
Yeah, just where it needs to be.
Where it needs to be.
So
I think that
he didn't have to move around and turn his body and put himself in a bad spot and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not an X's and O's guy, but I still say on this heat map of issues, they're very concentrated. That if you get better execution, better performance, then I think the whole team benefits. Again, I watched back a little bit today, and yeah, man, the juice ran out. The injuries on the offensive line made a huge difference, and that backbreaker, missing that field goal in the fourth quarter, it's just kind of all she wrote, and they had all the juice. And so, if anything, and again, the NFL thing, I just don't. This NFL thing has been talked to death, and I just think because in college they say the same stuff like erase it from your memory, move on to the next one. That's not an NFL thing. It's not just a college thing. That's just a football sports thing. So, if anything, they just identify, and they already kind of know what it is. Like just work on improving the areas that are weak, and keep going. Whether that's NFL oriented or not, I don't know. I'm kind of tired of talking about the NFL. A-holes. I'm sorry.
And I'll say this real quick: if they don't want us to talk about it, then they shouldn't talk about it themselves.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Okay.
No,
and
I agree.
not trying to sound sassy or anything, but
no,
it's what's been touted. So,
we not said this on the show? Like
right.
At the end of the day, like, hey, I'd like to talk about Appalachian State in winning football games, and not about NFL experience and getting guys ready for the pros. Because then, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm tired of it. I just want to win football games.
Exactly.
That's what I want. Same. Yeah, we're on the same page with that for sure. A-holes tailgate. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being better never happen again. How tired are you of App having our opponent being presented with a Sunbelt player of the week award. It's not great.
Oh, that's not where I thought that was going. But
Where did
I
you think
agree.
it was going?
I have
3 interceptions in the first half.
yeah, something like that. Turnovers to the goal line, blah 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 blah. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's let it ever happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really tough when you see something that's like, oh, and he had a 99-yard interception return for touchdown, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like goofy, right?
Yeah.
Like, look how great he did. It's like, sure, guy was in position to make a play. Congratulations. We screwed up to make it happen.
Yeah.
So I know that's just spinning the narrative a little bit, but
yeah.
whatever.
And this is actually the last Twitter comment. I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the last Twitter comment. And it's from Kimry Reinhardt. It's a short one, and this is like the definition of vague here. The question is, or the comment, help me understand. That's it. That's the question. Help me understand. What does Kimry want help understanding? Did she not listen to the post game?
Help me understand. I mean, it could be
Is it
many
that
things.
confusing? What's going on? We have a roster of 55 new players. We have some injuries.
No.
Ineffective quarterback play. A lot of new. A ton of new. It's all new.
If I had to guess, he was probably not speaking on a wide scale issue. If just for my guess, more of a pinpointed situation, kind of like help me understand how we threw 3 interceptions. Yeah, not help me understand how we lost by 16 Southern Miss.
Yeah,
or something like that. It's just crazy. Had not that not happened, we would have been right there, and anything could have happened. But I saw some while we transitioned over here to Facebook, some Southern Miss posts, and they were, it hurts to read them, but you got to read them anyway. And I saw one that was one of their players said, App State runs the same plays at the goal line all the time.
Oh, yeah, I read that. Yeah.
And that's from Huff saying that. In my opinion, it's got to be. And I don't think I had really thought about that, at least with this staff, but it made it certainly sound like it is carrying over a little bit. Although there's none of the same guy, none of the same people are here from last year. Or that was just made to make us feel terrible. And they certainly accomplished that quite well, because I definitely felt terrible and hoped I had never read it once I saw it.
Oh, the way that you put things, Charles, is so great. I actually do have so I explained last week that there's this weird thing going on with X where sometimes when people submit a hashtag, they don't show up. And one of those was Appalachian's Next Top Mountaineer. All right. Remember that kind of unique question?
Yeah.
The same thing happened. And so I'm going to give this lady some flowers here and read her question, even though it didn't pop up. So I'm going to read it here. Sorry. This is actually the last Twitter one. So apologies. Thinking of all college football, how much does NFL coaching experience actually matter when it comes to being successful in college football? Is it overrated, or does it really give coaches a meaningful edge in recruiting, development, or scheme? God, hot fire, back-to-back weeks from this girl who is anonymous. Don't know who she is. App State girly, and then she adds. Also, Rashad Dubinion is my pick for Appalachian's Next Top Mountaineer of the Week due to the TD celebration with Yosef. Iconic. I'm sending home turnovers in the red zone, of course. Also, I'm not a bot. I'm a girl who listens to your podcast. Go ahead.
Oh, I am a girl. Okay, good. All right, good. Cool.
Very happy.
I am not a bot. That might be the best quote of the week. And did we give her a cookie last week?
We did. And
damn.
I have half a mind to send her another one.
Yeah, I'm kind of pushing that direction as well.
The hot fire. So just to go back to the first part of this is does the NFL and I absolutely have an answer for this. Charles, what do you think with the NFL coaching experience in college?
You know, we all know that it's the leap from college to the NFL is hard. Like that,
Yeah.
it doesn't translate to everybody, and there's only a few who've been able to do that, and some have done it back and forth. But I don't know if it like. I mean, it is it a leap? No, I don't think so. But it was also like Dow was an NFL play caller. But I mean, this is just a different type of like thing. Like, sure, he may have had some decision making with personnel, like you mentioned in the past, but he was never anywhere longer than 2 or 3 years. So didn't really get to a spot where he was able to like truly develop. And you can say the same thing about his college career. So what is that? There's something to be said for that, all that, but what is it? And we'll find our answers here, I guess, in a few weeks or so. But I'd love to hear what you got to say, AJ.
So I want to preface this by saying that we've had a head coach right now for 3 games that has NFL experience. So I promise you, I'm not basing this on 3 games. That sample size is way too small for me to base my entire opinion on that.
100%.
Okay. So please don't try to read between the lines, folks. I think it's super overrated. Just having NFL experience, just having it. Let's quote a guy that maybe a couple people have heard of before, Joey Aguilar. Ball is ball. Frank Ponce said, "Ball is ball." There are great elite coaches in college and in the NFL. There are great coaches that are in high school, and they don't, whether it's personality or ambition, they don't want to do the things required to be at a certain level. Blah 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 blah. There's a million reasons why people are where they are in their career. There are some coaches at really high levels in football that are just really good at playing the political game, and they're not as great as other coaches that maybe don't play politics as well. Everybody that's listening to this knows that that's true, right? I mean, that's life, that's the real world, it's corporate world. In recruiting, I think it does add a different type of shine. Hey, I was in the NFL, man. Like, I coached Chris Johnson. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm talking for Coach Loggins at this point, or Xavier Legette. Like, yeah, of course, that stuff plays. There's no way it doesn't play. As far as scheme or like preparation, man, I just don't buy it. You're not going to tell me that there are coaches out there in the NFL that are as obsessive and insane as like Kirby Smart. He's not, and some coaches can weave back and forth in that, Pete Carroll was a great college coach. He's a great NFL coach. Jimmy Johnson, a little bias there. It is something that I think this program has touted and hung their hat on because that is their advantage right now to talk about that. Now, if they, whatever happens after Coach Loggins, if someone comes in and has no NFL experience, you think they're going to talk about like, oh, well, and unfortunately he doesn't have any NFL experience. I mean, that's not what's going to be said.
Well, what's going to be said is whatever their resume touts.
Right. Yeah. And that's
so
what they're going to tout, and they should.
Yeah. I think there's no better example of that than anyone who stayed up for West Coast After Dark NFL Monday Night Football last night and saw Jim Harbaugh facing off against Pete Carroll. When the last time they did that, it was Stanford versus USC.
Yeah.
and like, you're like, why is Pete Carroll still coaching in the NFL? and Jim Harbaugh went to the NFL, went back to college, and now is back to the NFL, and won a national championship. So
yeah,
it's just crazy. So like I was mentioning earlier, there are some that can go back and forth. Those are probably ball is ball, really good coaches, but I don't think. But that, like, how many of those guys are out there? Like 6, if that many.
Yeah.
Steve Spurrier wasn't.
Yeah.
Nick Saban wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Nick Saban wasn't. Yeah. And I think that had little to do with the X's and O's. It had to do with a lot of other things. And I'm going to ask you this, Charles. So in the last 5 years, we've had several different defensive line coaches. One of those coaches is a 2-time Super Bowl winning NFL defensive line coach. Was he the best defensive line coach we've had in the last 5 years at Appalachian State?
Nope.
No. I rest my case. No, where'd it go? Oh man, it went away. I fat fingered it. Okay. Now, as far as next top Mountaineer, we'll keep this brief. Oh Lord, I don't know. I don't know who I'm going to pick for my top next Mountaineer. Out of last week's performance, there's leaves a lot to be desired. There's no one that really stands out. I'll say DJ Burks. DJ Burks grabbed a pick. I really like the way he stepped up his game last year. I think Gamble, what's his name? Zaire Gamble. I think he was a little dinged up on Saturday, but I'm going to say DJ Burks. He'll continue to be that ball hawk, I think, with the Appalachian State safety or just any safety. You're either that free safety that's out there snagging balls out of the air, or you're playing strong and kind of that other linebacker back there. Maybe DJ Burks is that guy that's kind of flying around, grabbing passes. I don't know, but I'll pick him and then say what?
Next top is Colton Ferris for me.
Oh, yeah, that's a great pick.
He's just coming. He's made good solid plays, and he's gonna make a great play soon. It's bound to happen.
And I'm gonna send home that picture of the ball perfectly touching the top of Rashad DeBinion's hand. I'm gonna send that one home. That's who's going home for me, Charles.
Yeah, that might have happened in that moment, but other things also happened in that picture, or not in that picture, but in other pictures. In my opinion, I'm still sticking to my guns there.
Yeah, I stick all you want. Okay, I'm done. Thank you so much, App State Gurley, for bringing the heat 2 weeks in a row. Really great stuff.
So 333 Club is a little it's more conversation-y than question-y. So Chrome asked, we're just mentions, let's say that. Other than Coach Moore, the only one I can think of, has App ever had a head football coach with prior head coaching experience? And
yes.
Yeah.
Jim Brakefield coached at Wofford before he came to Appalachian State, and he brought Fisher DeBerry with him.
Yep.
And that's how the Fisher DeBerry, Steve Brown, Coach Brakefield connection all happened. So there was that Wofford connection. If you go further back, didn't Kid Brewer coached at Duke? Wasn't he Duke's head coach before he came to Appalachian?
I have to double check that. It sounds right though. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was
modern
right
history. Yeah, modern history.
Modern history for sure. Jim Brakefield has. And Mike Working did not. That was his first job and head job. And Mac Brown, that was his first head job as well. And Sparky, it was his first head job.
Yep. Nathan Powell, I believe Drink walked into a program with A or A minus talent. So like an A, like a letter grade, and experience levels at the 2 deep. What grade would you give Coach Loggins' inherited and transfer players? And what do you think is a realistic timeline for the recruiting to reflect in the current 2 deep? This is what I'll say. I do not disagree that Drink walked into A talent. Right. No one's going to argue with that. The only question is, was it A plus? Like,
I'm like, I don't want to be this guy that's like, oh, that team would definitely that team would win this league 1,000,000%.
Yeah, and that's
1,000,000%.
That's pre-portal, so there wasn't
pre-portal.
Like, hey, he brought in transfers. So we got to remember that part.
Yes, and that's why, by the way, that's why we got all the cream to the crop. And if there's a clip that I shared on Twitter, this is at some point last year, I think, when Nick Ross catches that interception at South Carolina and he starts running towards the end zone, if you freeze frame it, you see a bunch of dudes that was either drafted, signed free agent, or played NFL games like all around him on that defense. Just the defense.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you see Akeem Davis Gaither, Josh Thomas, Demetrius Taylor. I think DeMarco Jackson on the field. It was just,
Yeah.
I don't know if DeMarco was in that picture. Sean Jolly
Oh,
was on that picture. Tay Hayes, like dudes all on that picture that were like like great players that if they play today, like you just can't. You know what? No disrespect to the guys on the field today. I don't want to play that game. Like they're better than all of them, but tons of talent. That probably we'd have a hard time keeping together, for sure.
I think what we're gonna have a hard time guessing here is putting letter grades on 3 weeks worth of football against weird levels of talent that were our opponents. And so I don't think I'm going to go there. Because like I don't think you would be really accurate either way. Like let's say I said, oh, it's a C. Like someone's going to, I'm going to get, roasted to death for that. It's like, oh man, we're better than a C student. Like sure, yeah, there are some, but if I said it's like I think it's the same, then you're going to get the exact opposite. It's like you're crazy, blah blah blah, and like we don't know. And I think this is something that you grade after 12 games or 13 games.
I do like when you talk about like effort in the classroom, showing your work kind of deal. Like if we're gonna take that approach, I like the way number 8 Dylan Haas plays. He open field tackle. He runs around, plays hard. Obviously DJ Burks, I mentioned him, like the way he plays. Colton Ferris, I'm right there with you, Charles. He stands out. There are several guys that I like watching them play. McBurrows, number 18. Maybe they didn't all like shine. I thought, to your point, Charles, Colton Ferris, I think played a good game. Defensive line didn't look as great as they did. Of course, the last 2 opponents, that makes sense. That of course they didn't. It's hard 3 games in with 3 very different opponents. It's going to be hard to give grades. I could just go by like guys that I know that I have enjoyed watching so far this year. Will that sustain itself? Because remember, and look, let's just keep it real. Jordan Favors was he a 5th-year senior?
Yeah,
he's not starting on this team, and so
in the past that person would start every time.
You start every time. So we need to let this breathe a little bit. I don't think it's fair to give grades, although there are some that stand out. You're like, oh yeah, Colton Ferris to me is a guy like I can kind of project him out that he's going to continue to play that way. I think he's got a nice. He's been probably as consistent as anybody on that defense to show,
yes,
that he's going to be that kind of player.
And then as far as the last question, what do you think is a realistic timeline for the recruiting to reflect in the current 2 deep? And I mean, nowadays it has to be 2 years. It literally has to be your first class, which is like a half a class, because you didn't get a head start on them, but you still get graded on it, right? And then next year it's like, all right, show me what you got. And I think that's just the way it is anymore. Like you don't, you're getting your 3rd year at a school because either someone hadn't hired you away or you haven't been bad enough yet to be fired.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's Appalachian. I just think that's everywhere.
Yeah, it's just industry. Yeah, because I mean, if you bring in a redshirt junior, you're not bringing him in to develop him. You're bringing him in to play and to contribute. If you sign a high school player, you're not bringing him in to contribute. You're bringing him in to develop him. So there's a hearty mix of both on this roster right now. And I think we could more quickly judge the kids that have been brought in. Dubinion's the obvious one to say, like, okay, yeah, we get it. Like, he's really athletic. He's really strong. He's, you can see, like, he's a contributor right away. But that's not going to be true with everybody. Like, we had some freshmen playing on Saturday, and they might get pushed in the fire, but it's tough. But yeah, it's 2 years or less that you get to like say, here you go. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Hogan Sellers, quarterback development has historically been one of coach's strengths. What do y'all see as the biggest challenge in getting consistent play at that position right now? I don't. Go ahead.
So I think this is probably as hard of a question as we can get because so little is known about anything that's happening in fall camp, anything that's happening in practices. The literally only thing that we see as fans and are made known about or made aware of is what happens in those 3 games. That's it. So we don't know, like when Coach Loggins comes in and AJ Swan's on campus in January, we don't know where he was then. We don't know where he was at spring ball because we didn't see. And I know a lot of people were at the spring game and supposedly JJ Cole was better than Swan and whatever. Like, okay, that was a million years ago. So all we can do is see what we see. We don't see where he's come from since the summer workouts or fall camp. We don't. So is he a lot better than he would be if Coach Loggins wasn't his coach? I have no idea. I didn't see him. He threw 2 passes at LSU, and the last time he really played was in 2023 with Vanderbilt. It was probably running from his life or for his life. That's the NFL part. Going back a few questions that like I don't like this hiding and don't tell. Like it would be great to have a little more visibility just from a fan perspective as to like how far these guys come. But we only see what we see on Saturday, and we don't know the before. We see the after.
Yeah, I just think we need reps. Is the consistent play part, and I think that's what they were trying to stress in the fall camp was we've got a lot more reps than we did, and now we're kind of like, can we get those right now? Are we in healing mode, or are we in like walkthrough mode to get those reps and all that, and trying to do a little bit of both at the same time? It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Jay Neal, a post was made in the 333 Club during August, noting another school that had moved funding from having multiple alternate uniforms to having more NIL. Facilities, uniform combos, and things like that are or were leveraged in recruiting. Are we seeing a transition to cash is king? While we all deeply appreciate the new SoField indoor practice facility and acknowledge it will benefit other sports, is it worth its weight in NIL funds? Wow. How about this?
I know Jay's out on the coast, but this to me is a cookie. I'll send it to him. Like, I don't know if he's making it up this season. Hope he is. Man, I've been saying this for a couple of years that you hear the canary in the coal mines, these bigger schools that have more funding. And Coach Loxley at Maryland, I'll never forget this. Coach Loxley, this was like 2 years ago, or maybe more, but I'll just say 2 years ago, said that players would get dressed in a garbage bag over a nice uniform as long as you pay them. And I understand the need for the 100. I understand the case being made for the 100-yard facility. I don't know. You can make a strong case like, nope, I need my 100 yard, or it's going to be 110 yard or 120 yard or whatever it's going to be, this full facility. But at the end of the day, Jimmy's and Joe's, not X's and O's, like that's what it is. And so I think that Appalachian's been slow to the realization of that personally. That's me.
It's not Jimmy's and Joe's versus X's and O's. It's Jimmy's and Joe's versus the O's on the end of the price of a building such as that. Like that's the real thing. I mean, can you convert if you had to, something like that into just like straight cash? Like, is App State going to spend that kind of money in NIL?
Oh yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
is that going to happen? No, it's not.
No,
absolutely not. It's impossible.
No,
at least in this,
it's unsustainable. Like that's not sustainable. You can get these major gifts for like a project. You're like, all right, I'll do it for this project, but you can't go to somebody and say, hey, can you give 100,000 a year every year until you die to NIL
and not have your name on it?
Yeah, yeah, and no guarantee if these kids are going to be great or not. Like we hope they are. Fingers crossed, and hope they don't walk out the door the second they get here. But we've already given their signing bonus up front,
right?
Yeah, that is the struggle because you got like the deep pockets that, hey, let's sell the Loge boxes, let's put up the towers, build another practice facility. That's great, but I'm telling you, the new world, it is
But you got to play
players.
to what you have.
Yeah.
It seems like every week a new coach, AD, somebody is saying, you know what our problem is? We don't have enough money. Arkansas just came out and said it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, just happened
You
to be Arkansas.
I mean, Arkansas notoriously is always known as the school that has deep pockets. Why? Because of Walmart, right? I mean, that's the Walton family, and like
Well,
for them to come out and like
they went and bought the Broncos, though.
right. Oh, that's true. Maybe they tied up some capital. But like Nick, I think Nick Saban, and I think Nick Saban's a propagandist. Like everyone was like, "Oh, Nick's so." I think Nick Saban is so full of crap. I think most of what he says on like football side of like breaking down stuff couldn't be like a better person to like break down film. No one better. But like talk about industry stuff, like, well, Alabama, they're at a disadvantage. Man, shut up. Like they're coming out here and saying like Alabama, oh, we don't have any. Get out of here. Like you're telling me Alabama, like people bring that up, but
Well, these coaches are masters. Kirby Smart is master, and Dabo Swinney to an extent of trying to say everybody counted us out. Like, no, they didn't.
What are you talking
They
about?
said we couldn't do it. Like, no, you told them you couldn't do it. Gaslighting your own players. Everybody's talking junk about us.
No one believed in the Georgia Bulldogs.
It's the podcasters. It's their fault.
Yeah, that's right. It's our fault. I saw the clip today from The Last Dance when Michael Jordan, the story about Michael Jordan making up to reporters, making up that an opposing player on the Wizards had said, "Nice game, Mike," after like playing badly one game that Michael Jordan played badly. And he came back the next night or the next time they played and scored like more than that guy had scored the entire game in one half. And he ripped him apart. And then decades later, like there was this rumor that guy actually didn't say that to Michael Jordan. He didn't talk trash to Michael after that initial game, and that Michael had made it up. And so a reporter said, "Hey, did that guy actually say something to you, or did you make that up?" He goes, "I made it up."
Whatever it takes to motivate you, right? Whatever it takes to motivate your players, whatever it takes you to drop 50 on like some dude for the Wizards or the Bullets.
Oh, the Bullets. That's right. They were the Bullets.
I'm sure it was the Bullets then.
George
Muresan.
I remember him.
His soul. I'm assuming
I remember
he's
him.
dead. I think he's dead. Usually people that tall die fast.
That's not good, Big C.
That tall. I'm not 7'7".
Okay.
Or however tall he was. Chip Buckwell had a premium content submission and then actually hashtag this one. So if you want to see what Chip Buckwell said in the 333, you could probably guess. But if you really want to see it, you know how to find it. Since Zach Thomas, we have not had an App State recruited high school quarterback start for the Mountaineers. Does that end next week? We don't know. We'll find out.
What do you think? Yeah, but let's put
like if I just going to say, hey, you gotta hold a gun to me and be like, you gotta make a decision. I would say no. I think we'd figure out a way not for that to happen.
I agree. I think AJ Swan starts. I'm going only by this. He just had a pack of ice on his knee. Just a pack of ice.
Just some ice. Yeah.
Just a little ice. Get twisted up a little bit. Now, my son played 2 weeks ago and twisted his knee up so bad. It hurt me. Like it really I'm even now like shuddering thinking about him twisting it. But he's 8 and they can't break anything when they're 8. So he bounced back. He's all right. Knee swelled up a little bit. It was all right.
My sister broke a leg when she was 4. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, really? What happened?
She fell down. She rolled down the staircase of the house, the carpeted staircase. I don't know how she did it.
Did you push her?
At her? Yeah, I laughed at her the whole way down. I was not in pushing range.
That's mean.
Have you ever broken a bone?
No.
Me neither.
No, never broken a bone. But I think he's just got a little bruised up. Got a little stretch his tendon out a little bit. Look, AJ Swan's going to be good. I think AJ Swan will start at Boise. By the way, George Muresan is alive. And how dare you think that he's dead?
They're probably still building his coffin for when he dies because it takes a lot of wood. Sorry.
Do you think
I'm
he's
going to
still
die tomorrow? Well, I'm fall over tomorrow.
And no one in Boone's going to have a coffin that big. They're going to have to special order it.
Yeah, they're going to run out. I have to go to Lowe's. Out
Do you
of-
think he's still 7'7"?
No, he's probably like 7'4".
Yeah,
Was he 7'7"?
that's what it says. Yeah,
Did he wear 77 too? Am I
yeah,
right?
he did. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
yeah.
I didn't think I was going to talk about George Morrison tonight. But then again, whenever Michael Jordan comes up, you just assume anything could happen.
Do you remember? Do you remember? What's the guy's name he played in the NBA? Rex? Is it Rex?
Rex Chapman.
Rex Chapman. Him saying
Yeah.
"Rest in peace, Pete Gillen." Do you remember him saying that?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Pete Gillen. And like Pete Gillen tweeted, he's like, "I'm not dead." You're like Rex Chapman right now.
Rex Chapman. OG Hornet. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Wow.
Dave Phillips asked, "Are we a volleyball school now?" I don't know. Can we beat Duke? Can we beat Duke? I don't know what they're good at.
If we beat Duke, hashtag volleyball school.
All right. Not a lot left here. Somehow. Looking for cookies. I think Jay Neal's getting a cookie. Hopefully,
Yeah.
he can use it.
Jay Neal.
But we got a couple. Greg Peterson with uncertainty again at quarterback. Do you think we run the ball into the ground, or is it best to assume the whole season will be a question mark and we won't know what we had until the season's over? I don't think we run the ball under the ground. Because that wouldn't be developing and that wouldn't be doing you any good. But the latter half, the question mark part, and we won't know what we had until the season's over, I think that's very fair. I've always kind of had that feeling. I don't think we're going to get Dr. and be like, you know what? We've got it figured out. Because I think it just depends on how we finish, really, more than anything. I think October is a little soft as far as the schedule is concerned. And I could see us like winning 3 games in a row somehow. But then, what do we have at the end? What do we have at the end? And where do we finish?
Yeah. I do think that Loggins, for the most part, has like when he says, "Here are the things I believe, here's the things I'm trying to do," I think he means them. I just think that he has a very interesting and direct and almost unemotional way of communicating it. Like, I really do think he says, like, I'm gonna, players not plays. Like, I don't want to play if I don't have the players to do it. I'd rather run a play that maybe wouldn't ideally use, but the players I have dictate that I should do it. I think it's pretty. I think the fact that DeBinion has racked up the kind of stats that he has kind of shows that a little bit. I think all this has been thrown on its head with bad turnovers and just bad play in the red zone, or else we wouldn't ask questions like that. I don't know. And it's still it's still so early in the season. I don't know. I do tend to like the taking the stance of we won't know what we have till it's over kind of deal, just because I don't know. I just think that's how it shakes out sometimes.
Scott Van Note, no Monday presser, no injury updates. Is this just D'Lo's way after a rough loss, or just not having the answers so early in the week?
It wasn't
above
scheduled.
all. Yeah, it's just that we weren't playing.
Yeah.
Now he was on the Sunbelt presser, the Zoom presser,
Mm-hmm.
and did say that the reason that Swan was pulled was because he was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So throws out the convenient injury theory I had on Sunday brunch or so.
It was a good one,
but not wrong. Still, I think it's something was convenient.
Yeah. No, yeah, this is that. I think there could be an idea that some people would say, well, he's ducking, or no, this was never.
Yeah.
It was never scheduled to have a press conference this week. So just understand.
Yeah, I don't blame anyone for that. That's totally fine with me on that end. But
yeah,
that AJ, that is it. As far as questions or comments or random shenanigans. So, Jay Neal.
Okay. I give it to Jay. That was a good one. I like that from Jay. Come your way, Jay, and just put it in your wallet. So next time you're in the high country, take advantage of it. I
Justin Fowler. Justin Fowler. I'm gonna say it. Square dancing.
Okay, Justin and Jay. I don't mind it. Okay. send me the address, gentlemen, and DM, and we'll send it. Hey, one thing that we should have mentioned earlier, and I hate doing things
Of
like this,
course.
especially like
Right.
on pre-recording, because things are always developing, and I hate, like, I thought about saying something in the pregame radio segment, but we record those beforehand, and you never know what's going to happen. So I always hesitate because you never know what's going to happen in the future. But continue, folks, if you're listening to this, to continue to pray for Sean Clark and his family. They certainly want that for their family, for what Coach Clark is going through right now. UCF, made that announcement that Coach Clark experienced a medical emergency, and that he's just being taken care of right now. And thankfully, I mean, this is actually, you want to talk about a silver lining. There's a lot of really awesome medical facilities and hospitals in Orlando, like some of the best in the world, actually, believe it or not, which I think that's easy to believe. So I think he's being taken care of. And I know that, you want to be sensitive to the specifics of what's released or whatever. And so that's kind of the game, like, I don't want to play. But certainly we're praying for Coach Clark and want the best for him and his family. I can't imagine, like, the stress of number one football season, like number one, and then going through something like this, which then, blows everything else out of the water in terms of importance. But yeah, if you're listening to this, we're recording this on September 16th, 2025. Continue to keep Coach Clark and his family in your prayers as they go through Coach Clark's road to recovery right now.
Not much more I can add there, AJ. I mean, obviously, we certainly feel for him, and and the whole family. Like, I mean, that was tough news last week to hear. So you can obviously know how we felt then, and this last week wasn't the right time, and not that this is any better, but I think everyone knows how we feel here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and want to respect the privacy and everything like that, and people want their privacy. People want their business to stay their business. And I understand that, but I also know that people like me and you and literally tens of thousands of Appalachian Mountaineers want the best for him and want him to do well. So just continue to keep Coach Clark in your prayers. So, but that is it. It is a bye week. It very much has felt like a bye week. And yeah, Charles, any parting words, any final words before we sign off?
No, I don't think I have anything else. Ready to play football again. Hate bye weeks this early. But I guess for us at the time, it fell at the right time.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, thanks, Big C, and for everybody that's downloaded this episode and has listened up to this point, thank you so much, and thank you to our sponsors, Boonshine Brewing Company, and until not a post game, but until our episode next week, go Apps.